Hi, I'm Heather Hansen, Clear Speech Specialist at English Pronunciation Lab and Hansen Communication Lab. Today I would like to share with you some tips about getting around something that is really debilitating for a lot of my clients. It has nothing to do with the way that they speak, but everything to do with the way that they think. So today I'd like to talk to you a little bit about how to think like a clear and confident speaker. You know, when I was growing up, I did gymnastics. I started when I was about 7, and I took gymnastics lessons until I was about 17. I started teaching gymnastics at the same studio around 12 or 13 years old. It was a big part of my life. And my teacher, Betty Daly, was one of the most influential people in my life growing up. Because you know what? When we walked into that studio, there was this mural on the wall, rainbow and butterflies, and in big, big letters, it said, "I can." Seems very simple, right? But she is the woman who always said to me, "Heather, your body can do things long before your mind will ever let you." And you know, that was a really important lesson to learn. Not just in gymnastics, but it ended up being in a lot of life, that we are physically capable of doing things long before this crazy little mind up here is willing to allow us to do them. Lately with my one-on-one clients, this has been coming up so much, where they're able to make sounds, but for some reason their mind is holding them back from putting it into practice. So what exactly is going on? I'd like to share with you what I've discovered, basically 4 steps that I've discovered, a way for you to change your mindset and move forward in speaking clearly and confidently. Now, this is more specific to pronunciation training. I'll have to do another video around public speaking because there's some different things you need to do with your confidence when you get up to speak in public. But let's start by just looking at how we make sound, how we pronounce sound, how we go about learning new sounds, and how our mind is playing tricks with us. So first of all, if you want to start thinking like a clear and confident communicator, the first thing you have to do is decide that you can. Just like that big mural in the gymnastics studio, I can. You have to know 100% that you are capable of speaking clearly. I don't care how many teachers in your life have told you you can't speak English well. I don't care what your parents have told you. I don't care what your colleagues have told you. I don't care what your bosses have told you. I don't care what other English language learners that you've been around have told you, or any other English language teachers. It has nothing to do with this. If you do not say to yourself, you know what? Forget all of that. I can do this, and I will do this, because I see way too many people come into my office and they've given up before they've even started. They say, oh, I can't do the RNL. Oh, I can't do an SH. I've never been able to do it. No one with my native language can do it. Nobody can do it right, so I know I can't. Well, I'll tell you, you can, and I'll prove it to you. And I've had clients who have acted that way, and within 5 minutes, I've had 2 clients in the last month who within 5 minutes, they had never done the SH sound in their life, one from Thailand, one from India, had never done the SH, shh. Within 5 minutes, they did it perfectly. And they still looked at me like, oh, but I can't. When I was saying, hey, okay, I'm ready to go home. See you later. Have fun. We fixed it. You did it, right? So what I'm teaching is not rocket science. You can do it. The problem is you've never had a teacher hold your hand and show you exactly how. You need someone to show you how. And then it's quite simple. But first of all, you have to know that you can. Number 2, you need to start listening. Now, I don't mean listening the way you listen to your friend over coffee. I mean really seriously listening, tuning your ear to the language around you. If you know that TH is a difficult sound, if you can't hear the difference between a long E and the short I, if those 2 sounds sound the same to you, then you really need to start listening for the differences. Now, I can tell you that this works because it's the same process I went through when I was living in Denmark and trying to learn Danish. My mindset was messed up. I had given up. I can't hear the difference between those two vowels. There is no difference. I will never learn it, so I'm just going to give up, and I'll just have to live with the fact that I cannot pronounce those sounds. And I completely gave up. And I know so many of my clients who come in saying, I can't hear the difference between E and I. I'll never hear the difference. I don't care. I give up. I'm never going to have it. The way to change this is you need to wake up and say, okay, 400 million native English speakers can hear the difference between these two sounds. And you know, a big chunk of the non-native speakers, they can hear it too. So do I believe them? Hopefully you do. I'm not lying to you. There is a difference between E and I. So if you can't hear it, it means you have to start listening incredibly closely to all the English that you hear around you. You watch English television, English movies, speak with English friends, talk to your teachers. You have to be involved, and you have to take very special note of what these differences are. Listen for the words that use those sounds and make a mental note, make a physical note. These are all things that you have to learn and remember. Number 3, practice. So once you've started listening very, very closely, and you're hearing the difference between the two sounds, you need to start trying it yourself. And don't worry if it's not perfect right away. It takes time. It's a process. It takes practice and practice and practice. So when you start speaking, don't be afraid to try it, to test it. And it won't be right away. People might look at you funny. They may not understand you. But hey, so what? It's the same way that children learn. Think about your kids as they're learning and they mispronounce things and they're testing the different sounds. You have to keep testing and try it out until it fits. So that's what you have to do. And it may help to have a coach, someone like me, who can help you through that, who can show you and help speed up that process so that you can figure out the placement faster, so you don't have to go through so much trial and error. And then if you have some set practice materials that you can work with so that you can test specifically those sounds that you're having difficulty hearing, you're going to be able to move forward much faster. But remember, if you have not made the decision that you can, and if you have not listened very, very carefully for the differences, getting to this stage of practice isn't going to help you much. So remember, it's still in the mind. This third step is physical. It's about how do you do the placement, how do you articulate. But if the mind is still a mess, you're going to have difficulty. And the final step, step 4, is to celebrate your success. Give yourself a pat on the back when you do something well. I can't tell you how often I sit one-on-one with very talented professionals, and we're working on the placement, and we're working on making that sound, and then suddenly they do it perfectly. And I'm sitting here going, yes, you're doing it again, and they're doing it, and I am so excited for them, and I'm so happy for them. And what is their reaction? It's, oh, gosh. But it's so hard. And are you sure? And no, I don't think so. And is it really? And I don't think so. And I sit there like, what's wrong with you? You did it perfectly. It's fantastic. I have it on tape. You want to hear it? I have it on tape. And it takes actually letting them listen to the tape for them to realize, oh, okay, maybe I did it. And you know what? This is going all the way back to step 1. That belief is so strong in these people that I can't, that they won't even celebrate it when they figure out that they can. If you're going through life like this, believe me, it doesn't matter how much we work together. You will never apply these skills outside of our hour session together, or of that video session, or however you happen to be working with me, or any other coach for that matter. If you do not have that first step nailed of, yes, I can do this, you're not going to be able to apply what you learn, even when you do it perfectly in your coaching sessions. So it's so important that when you do it right, when you listen to that recording and you hear, oh my gosh, I think this is right, I'm doing it, that you celebrate that you say, awesome, I can do it. I can do this. I can achieve whatever I want, and I can speak clearly, and I can speak confidently. Because if you stay stuck at step number 1 of I can't, you're not going to be able to move forward. So I just felt like I had to share that message with you. I hope that you can find it useful. I hope you can apply it in your life, maybe to things completely different than your communication. But I want you to remember that a lot of times it has nothing to do with our bodies. Your body, your mouth, your articulators, they can speak clearly and confidently. Sometimes it's up here that can't. If you'd like to learn more about clear speech and pronunciation, I hope you'll come visit me at EnglishPronunciationCourse.com and sign up for my free pronunciation short course. Or you might even consider joining me in my brand new online pronunciation mastery program. I'll see you there. Happy speaking!